Welcome back, everyone, to our ongoing special broadcast of the U15 Program of Excellence, proudly presented by the Ontario Hockey League and the Ontario Hockey Federation. We are thrilled to continue to showcase the next generation of hockey talent with support from partners like Hockey Canada and Gatorade. And we have a great match teed up here at the Patrick J. Doherty rink here at the Activia Sportsplex here in beautiful Kitchener, Ontario. We've got the Rangers in blue, the Attack in red. I'm Ryan Drury alongside Mark Perry. And Mark, we've already seen some great action here at the Program of Excellence, and we've got another awesome matchup coming up here as we see the starting lineups.
There you see for the Rangers, it will be Ethan Anderson, the Cambridge Hawk, the former Hespeler Shamrock, getting the nod in goal for the Rangers. Clayton, Black, Klugston, Green, and Asaf will be your starting lineup for the boys in blue. For the Attack, you see him there, Noah Connolly, the Waterloo Wolf, getting the nod in goal. So it will be a battle of number ones in the net to start things off. We saw it in the first game where there was some moving around in terms of the netminders that were available during the game, just trying to maximize the looks for the scouts and everybody in attendance here today as you take a look at the rest of that lineup as we get set for puck drop in just a couple of moments.
And in the first match here, we saw a great contest, a 4-3 win by the Storm versus the Knights squad, as Attack coach Chris Clancy will be hoping that his team in red can come out on top of what should be a formidable opponent here with this Rangers squad in blue. And again, we're getting a great look at the very best U15 talent that our province has to offer. It's going to be an awesome match. And again, Mark, you know, when you get down to this age level, a lot of these guys are playing for elite programs in minor hockey. They're trying to punch their ticket, hopefully, into the next level as you get a look at the Rangers staff in Bo Spencer and Tyler Murdoch. And these guys are going to help steward these young men into, hopefully, pushing for an OHL spot, Tier 2 Junior A, who knows, but you definitely want to come out and make a big impression. Well,
and this is the beginning of that road as you go into this season. You know, you're trying to make those impressions amid the, you know, there's so much pressure that goes into a draft year like this, and you want to, you know, do well, especially in games like this where you're amongst the best that your age group has to offer. So if you can separate yourself from the rest of the pack in games like this, you know, you never know what can happen, as that can end up turning into some, you know, some great motivation, some great confidence as you move into your regular seasons in a few months' time.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, you talk about the pressures of junior hockey and what that brings. I mean, we're lucky to be sitting up here with a former Cambridge Redhawk standout in Zach DeForest. Maybe next year we'll get Zach on the mic, get him to break down his junior hockey experience in the GOJHL, a league that we've both covered very closely. And, you know, that's something to remember as well. I mean, I know that everybody would like to play in the Ontario Hockey League, but there's lots of other junior opportunities around this province.
And there's so many spots available. And now you think about the NCAA CHL deal that came about last year. So, you know, all those kids that thought about possibly going into the NCAA ranks after a while, now they get that extra option. And, you know, that, you know, kind of changes the game, if you will, and provides a little bit of opportunity for the junior A ranks to maybe pick up some players there too. So there's a lot of space available, even if you don't make it into the Ontario Hockey League even right away.
Good initial save. Rangers with a good chance, and they've got Connolly in there working away. It's actually 31 that they have in the net, Simon Godin. So he makes the first stop of this contest as the Rangers looking to get things set up out of their own zone. Charging through neutral, off to the far wing. Dangling in, and they'll get it down low. Hard hit there. That's a huge hit. We're going to get a penalty on that collision. A hard hit laid there by Michael Pacek. Get another look at this. Bang! As he just ran over Seth Montgomery. And he's going to take a penalty for that one.
Pacek just absolutely bowls over his man there, just in behind the net. The official just 2 feet away from the play ends up putting the hand up immediately. Early power play here now for the Attack.
So the Attack are going to work the man advantage first here in this contest, as the Rangers will sweep it around, clear lane to clear, and they will. All the way down the ice, as slowing that up for his defenders is Godin. Leaving it here for Luke McMillan, considering his options on the outlet feed. Finds a teammate streaking up the wing, and it'll be dumped in deep. Landing, though, off a deflection. Defender there, and it'll be swept away by the Rangers. Charging all the way back, looking to reset, is McMillan. He's pressured. Makes a good spin off the forechecker there as the Rangers continue this penalty kill. Here come the Attack. Dodging into the middle, trying to cut through defenders there was number 14, Aiden Wismer, but could not get free. Good clear again by the Rangers as they get it all the way down. Fresh penalty killers and power play men out there, and that's going to hit the open door and deflect back.
Actually stayed in play for some reason.
That stayed in play, yeah. Now the Attack getting a little discombobulated in their own zone. Now they're going to get it free and clear, and here they come charging down the wing. Turned over, though, and the Rangers happy to just rifle that right back down with 45 and ticking. Left here on the man advantage for the squad in red. And here they come. Pushed over to the far wing. Charging down the ice now is number 18, Bryce McFadden. Makes a seam play. Working out of the corner, now up off the half wall, and trying to charge down and interchanging with teammates. The Attack getting things set up. Working the power play with 20 seconds left. Hard shot, and that hit a teammate in front and didn't get to the net. Chance here at the point, walking in, high shot, and that hit somebody in front and never reached the goaltender. Late stages here, final seconds ticking away on this power play for the Attack, thrown through the seam, and now we are back to 5-a-side. That gets tipped wide of the net as the Attack continue the offensive pressure. Now turned over, and the Rangers back to 5-a-side, charging down, and they're going to get after this. Nice move to escape a defender. Handling here, played into the middle nicely and swatted away. That was a good play off the stick of Pacek, who served that penalty. And he's got some early wheels here. That puck will deflect up into the bench of the Attack squad, and we will get a stoppage here. Want to thank our friends at Gatorade again. Today's action brought to you by Gatorade, the official hydration partner of the U15 Program of Excellence, fueled by Gatorade, powered by performance.
And going to that last power play, you look at the Attack and just the pressure that they were able to put up in the offensive zone. You know, credit to Caden Petrovsky, a couple of key keep-ins right in front of the Ranger bench to really just continue that cycle play and continue the pressure.
So that'll be iced by the Attack, and it will come all the way down as the Rangers, after killing that early power play, will get set up here and try and mount some offense themselves. Knocked into the corner. Rangers on the attack, played toward the top of the crease, batted away by a defensive stick. Control at the point, high, sizzling shot, that goes wide. Rangers holding it in down low. Attacker on it defensively here, looking to get it away. Good defensive play there by Seth Montgomery, and they are able to get it out of the zone, but it's turned right back in by the Rangers squad. Up the near half wall, back to the point, good hold by the Rangers. Not letting the Attack out of their zone very easily here as Montgomery has to deal with some forecheckers. Gets some support here, that's out of the ref's skates, and settling it again, here's Montgomery. Able to get it up to the blue line, but no further. Another good hold at the offensive line by the Rangers. They're keeping the pressure on. Aggressive forecheck here. That will come out of the zone, and the attacker away. Charging down the ice is Ethan Schmidt. Drop feed. Top of the circle, hard shot, and that's high and wide. Rangers are on top of it first, and they'll skate it free. That cross-ice pass doesn't connect, and they'll reset things. Quick up play finds the stick of Cameron Hogg. Dumped in deep. Attack defenders there first. Swept up the half wall, reaches the point, shot in there. It was tipped on the way, and a good stop there from Godin. Down low, trying to get this free is Hudson Sagan. Up that far half wall, it's out. Missing a teammate on the feed, but it's into the offensive zone. Turnover here, good power move on the stick, loose in front, and they couldn't sweep it toward the goaltender. The attacker's still on it though, trying to pressure here. Hard hit in the corner. Rangers defending. Thrown toward the front, that's poked away, comes back to the point, nifty moves. Handling down low. Swung back to the point. The attack hold it in, but it's right to a Rangers defender, and they'll stretch the ice and tip it in. So some good back and forth chances here as defending is Hudson Sagan. Sweeps it up that far wall. Rangers trying to cause a turnover here, nearly doing so, and that will be knocked back as far as the blue line. Rangers holding serve here. Trying to spin away from a check is Jacob Green. He gets some support. Four-man scrum out of the corner, and the Rangers have it. Played down low, now back up top to the point. Good feed. Trying to set up a shooting lane. That's tipped in, and Godin kicks that away. Rangers with a couple of good opportunities there on the tip in front from Josh Klein. This will get cleared out. Not near enough for icing, though, and the attack will get some fresh troops out there. Rangers trying to catch them on the change. Played back to the point, looking to dangle in. That's knocked away, and now the attack have room to go down the ice. Bad pass through the middle, though, and the Rangers have that on the turnover. Into the middle, trying to cut through was Pacek, as he's furiously in pursuit of this puck. Down low below the goal line. Now Pacek has it, played up top. Hard shot, that gets blocked nicely by Rocco Autorino. Attack with the high flip out, as the Rangers were turning the pressure up there. Drifts back onto the stick of Montgomery. Cross ice, and they'll get it up and into the offensive zone. Shot bluffed there, and it's played down to the corner instead, now up top. Walking the line, Montgomery. Snakes it over to the near side, tried to play it through the middle, no one could get a stick on it. Good back and forth action here so far. Both teams have been able to mount long offensive cycles, and now the Rangers trying to stretch the ice, and they will. Hard charging in is Pacek. He's in, and a big save there from Godin. Pacek came in one-on-one, and Godin stuck with him and made a big stop.
On some good speed by Pacek with the size that he brings. Right down the right wing side, drops the shoulder a bit, tries to go to the front of the net, tries to beat the goaltender, but Godin, excellent job to just close the puck in on the blocker side, right under the armpit.
Low shot is easily handled away there by Godin. And now the outlet. And the attack. Knock it in deep. In behind the Rangers net, swept over to the far side. Everybody trying to knife this free from the corner. The attacker on it. Swung back to the point. Cross ice feed, trying to go through the seam. Hard shot, they score! Beautiful snipe. 7:01 left in the first, and that's a ripper, beating the goaltender clean. And the attack have a 1-0 lead courtesy of that beautiful shot from Ethan Rousseau.
The Southern Tier Admiral, the stick twirl after the snipe. Excellent job, great shot. Right at the tail end of some really good puck movement by the attack on that one.
Not much the goaltender could do with that. I don't think many goaltenders are stopping that shot. And the attack stake themselves to a 1-0 advantage, and they're right back in. Play in below the goal line. Rangers defenders trying to tie up the attackers. Dug free by the attack. Montgomery at the point. Played over off the half wall through the seam. Jumping on this, and a hard shot that gets blocked. Quickly off the stick of Bennett Lawson. Rangers able to get it free of their zone. Montgomery resetting the table. Mishandling the puck, though, and now the Rangers may have an opportunity opening up here. Poked through some legs, trying to keep this alive, and taking it over to the boards there is Lincoln Quilty. Dug free of his feet, and the attacker through neutral. Near turnover at the line. Attack trying to hold it in. They will for now. It'll squirt free into the neutral zone, and the Rangers trying to jump on this. Another turnover. Puck bouncing a lot out there. I'm sure the warmer weather has something to do with that. Ice gets a little spongy in early May.
A little bit.
You know that.
But that neutral zone, there's been a whole lot of turnovers in this first period by both sides.
I think the coaching staff is going to be hammering on that. We got to be more responsible in the middle of the ice because that sets you up for a good entry. Speaking of entries, here's the Rangers on one. Thrown toward the front, and that's sticked away. Good defensive awareness there by Hudson Sagan. Another near turnover. It'll roll over to the near side, and the attack, can they get it free just? And it'll be skated away now by Ethan Schmidt. Dumped in and chasing after it is Chase Menard. He lays the body trying to get that puck free, but the Rangers will take possession. Looking for an exit lane, they find one. Into the offensive zone, need a change, so just responsible, they'll dump it in. Setting it up here is McMillan. Considers his options. He'll choose to walk it out. Played up, pass a little too hard for a teammate, and that will be sent back in. This is going to be an icing, though, against the Rangers, bringing it all the way back. And want to take an opportunity here to thank Hockey Canada for their ongoing support of youth development through programs like this one. Thank you once more to our friends at Hockey Canada helping make events like this possible.
Yeah, and again, this is a weekend where you get a look at the best of the 2010 age group and guys that are going to be looking to hear their names called at the OHL draft a year from now.
Absolutely. And we've seen some great talent on display here so far at the Program of Excellence. Flipped out by the Attack, who are nursing a 1-0 lead early in this contest with 4 and change left in this period. That's going to be an icing. That was enough behind the red line to the linesman's liking to bring it all the way back, and so the Attack will line up for an offensive zone draw here.
Yeah, that was Logan Gowing just trying to dump the puck in. Nobody really around the vicinity, but just on the wrong side of center.
So a defensive zone draw for the Rangers. They briefly lost it, but they quickly gain possession and come charging down the ice. Setting up the attack. Low, hard shot, and Godin will kick that away. Quick outlet feed, finds a man charging down. It's Ben Slade. Defenders catching up to him. Slade makes a good spin move, plays it into the middle, trying to get a shot through. They were unable to, as the Rangers were in the way defensively.
Great closing speed by Josh Pline on that last play.
Absolutely. Low shot in front, and that's kicked aside. The Attack certainly staying on these defenders with a lot of speed and pressure. Rangers looking for an outlet. That gets picked off. Dangerous feed up the middle, and that allows the Attack to keep things going. Siphon down low, looking to get a cycle going. Playing in down low there is Slade involved on the forecheck. Rangers with another opportunity to get it clear. They will, but it's right to a waiting stick of an Attack player, and they jump right back in on the offensive. Turned over. Rangers looking to stretch the ice here, and they will. Partial break coming in here on Godin, and he's got to hold the fort as the net comes off. Charging in and just trying to finish the move off there was Jacob Green, and he just could not get a shot away in tight on Godin.
And that looked like Caden Petrovsky closing in on him just in behind, and really put a lot of pressure on his man, and I think that really kind of forced the play and just couldn't get a clean shot away.
So the Rangers now on the offensive. Hard hit along the boards. Attack trying to get this clear. Back at the point. Shot through, and that takes a hop off a couple legs and wide of the Attack net. Trying to cling on to this 1-0 lead. Rangers upping the ante on the forecheck here. Shot in from a sharp angle, and Godin content to just grab a hold of that and hold on.
Rangers looking to tie this game up. They've had a couple of chances here, just starting to throw pucks at the net a little bit more. Doesn't matter what the angle is, just looking to try to keep the goaltender Godin on his heels here.
Clean defensive zone win, and the Attack are right back in. Knocked off the puck was Wismer, but he gets it in deep anyway. Thrown toward the front, everybody stabbing at that, and the Rangers will try and power their way down the ice. Cutting to the outside, inside out move, and the Rangers are in business in the offensive zone. Defenseman pinching in to keep this alive. Playing down low's Lincoln Quilty, who made that nice move to gain entry into the zone. Played down low, swung all the way around. Can they hold the line? Yes. Rangers bump it down. They'd love to get this game tied with under 2 minutes left here in the opening frame. Thrown toward the front. That's cut off by an attack defender. Dangerously carried toward the front of the net there. Bennett Lawson went on a bit of an adventure there. It'll get cleared. And the attack are back in business in the neutral zone as both teams make changes. That's turned over. Cleanly back in onside. Rangers looking for some offense here. Gavin O'Connell on the carry. Played back to the point. Looking for a lane. Tip. Rolling to Godin, and he will turn that aside. Rangers with some great pressure late here in the frame, but the attack looking for an exit. They won't find it just yet. Montgomery now, he'll rifle that down the ice. Problem is, it's through everybody for an icing with 1:12 to go.
This last sequence all starts with that turnover just outside the blue line, trying to throw it out of the zone, right onto the tape of a fresh Ranger player coming onto the ice, and all of a sudden you have that transition coming back, cycling the puck around, and it's all fresh legs on the ice for the Rangers.
Big hit as the attack get that free. That was Quentin Graham laying the body. Attack were able to clear. Now it's back in their zone. Rangers are on it. Nice move shuffling to the outside. Looking to tie this game late in the first. Knocked down low by Gavin O'Connell. On it first is Sagan for the attack. Sent around to the near side. Cross ice feed. Jumping on this and in on the attack. Low, hard shot there off the stick of Jaden Kilpiainen. Rolling back into the neutral zone. The attack are on it here. Trying to get the red line. Knocked in deep. Under 30 left here in the first. Sent down the ice. No icing. Hit something on the way, so Sagan's going to have to come back and retrieve this with 15 and ticking. No pressure yet on Sagan. Now he'll make a play to that far wing. Played through the middle. Turnover. Late opportunity for the Rangers here. Hard shot. Godin is there to keep the lead.
Well, that's going to be the thing that these two coaches are harping on going into the second and even the third period. The turnovers, not just exclusive to the neutral zone. Right there, yet another turnover turns into a quality scoring chance almost right away.
Attack tie things up off the draw, and that'll do it for the first period here at the Patrick J. Doherty Arena. A 1-0 advantage for the attack squad in red after that opening frame, and a great goaltending duel that we saw as well, Mark.
Yeah, both goaltenders looking sharp. Simon Godin for the attack in red, Ethan Anderson in blue for the Rangers, and again, just the one goal to show for all of it, as you see a little bit of what happened during that first period of play. A couple of key breakaways, a couple of key saves on those one-on-one situations. But here we are, 1-0 the lead for the attack going into the second period.
And you saw the goal there from Ethan Russo as well, a beauty snipe upstairs, and the paw check partial breakaway. Godin had to be called into action a few different times as well on Jacob Green, who had a partial break. And on the other side, Anderson had to make some great stops as well. The attack doing a great job of going across the ice and making Anderson move left to right a lot. 1-0 the advantage.
And we're going to get a goaltending change on both sides. Noah Connolly now in the net for the attack in red. And on the near side here for the Rangers, it'll be number 30, Ryder Kotalik.
So we'll get a look at all three of the netminders that both teams have as they'll switch them up at the start of each frame. And we're underway in the second period. 1-0 advantage for the attack squad in red. The Rangers in blue defending here, sweeping it up that half wall, and they are free and clear to go on the attack. Charging the other way is Wyatt Clugston, thrown toward the front, not missing by much. Stuff attempt here at the side of the net, and that'll be jumped on top of, as that'll be Connolly jumping on top of that for the attack, and a near miss there. Clugston made a good play over. I believe it was Elijah Handrahan that was receiving that pass and just poked it wide.
Well, Handrahan's trying to settle that puck down because that is a hard pass going through the slot, just trying to get it onto the stick and just trying to corral it up. Had the goaltender dead to rights, but just was unable to fully control the puck.
That turnover could have spelled trouble, as there were two Rangers right in the middle of the slot that puck rolled back to, and they're going to dig it free here, trying to send it through the seam. Back for the defender, now rimmed down low. Comes into the corner, hard hit there, as Rangers keeping it alive. Good hold at the line, thrown toward the front. That hit some feet on the way. Dug out by the attack defenders. That's Jackson Gillies on it. Up the wall, still not clear. A lot of pressure early in this second period from the Rangers squad. The attack off a turnover, though, have a chance to get it out, and they will. Charging in on the offensive. Low, hard shot, and that's wide of the net of Kotaluk. Attack trying to move through the top of the zone. That gets turned over, and the Rangers, courtesy of Ronan Black, heading the other way. In on the attack, knocked away by the stick of Montgomery for the attack. Rolling toward the front of the cage, and they had to be careful with that one. They'll get it out. Back pressure here from the Rangers. Good move to get away from a forechecker there. Joseph Delacroix made a nice move to get it down the ice for the Rangers, who have an opportunity for a shot here right through the middle. They score! It's tied at 1. 12:57 left here in the second period. And a beautiful play into the slot. And wasting no time with that, getting it away quickly, was Pacek.
Well, he's been all over the ice in this game. Pacek, the Toronto Marlboro, gets into the slot, rips it by the goaltender. Look out for his name as he's continuing to showcase that he is, amongst the best players on the ice here today.
He's certainly showing that early. So number 16, Pacek, with a low, hard shot, beating Connolly 5-hole, and we are knotted up at 1. The attack, dumping it in, trying to get their lead back. Rangers with a good turn defensively, and quick up, and Pacek's on it. Knocked off the puck, though. And the attacker trying to get through the neutral zone. Picked off. Pacek still out there. Cross-ice feed, and it's a good one. They're away. Low shot, and that's kicked away by Connolly. Pacek bluffing a shot. Now walking in and fires in. He didn't miss by much. Looking for number 2 on the afternoon. Rangers with some great pressure here in this second period, tying the game up, and they're still in on the attack. Pacek holding the line. Moved over to the wing. Low tip chance, and that's knocked away. And the attack will skate this out of danger. Carving into the offensive zone just offside. 11:53 left here in the middle frame. And once again, want to thank our friends at the Ontario Hockey Federation, who are proud to partner with the OHL in developing the stars of tomorrow, starting right here with the U15 Program of Excellence. And it's been a great event so far, Mr. Perry.
It really has. And just to go into this game here, we talked about the turnovers. We talk about, trying to be a little bit more responsible in your own end. There has been defensive responsibility. Not a whole lot of 2, 3, 4 time chances in the house in particular.
Yeah, not a lot of odd man rushes, that's for sure. As playing it in, the attack trying to move it into the middle, and the Rangers defenders are there to knock it out of the zone. A little bit of stick exchanging there between Elijah Handrahan and Rocco Otterino, and the attacker back in. Hard shot, and that's knocked away. And then ripped wide on the rebound chance. Good stops there from Ryder Kautaluk. Attack still threatening here. That bounced off a foot in front. Kautaluk, it never reached him. He had to be aware of it, though, and he was. Attack really working the cycle here. Now back at the point. Shot through. In the corner, trying to play that through the bottom of the circle. Back up top at the point. Good shift here from the attack. It's in the middle, trying to dangle that free and knock it toward the net was Knox Harrison, but it was knifed away from him. Sent back in deep by the attack. Changes for both sides as Logan Gowing on the carry here for the Ranger squad, trying to stretch the ice. That's able to get through, and chasing it down is Handrahan. Trying to play that toward the middle. Comes back to the point. Low hard shot tip in front, and that was just tipped wide by Quilty. Rangers now trying to up the pressure. Turned over though, and the attack are able to skate through the middle. Getting in and getting the forecheck going. Along the half wall, now spilling back into the corner. Backhanded, but not out. High shot, that hit a defender in front. It was knocked down nicely there by Ronan Black. And the Rangers are the other way. Good cross-seam feed. Bouncing a little bit though on Knox Harrison, who couldn't settle it cleanly. They hold the zone though. Rangers trying to take their first lead. In behind the attack net. Swept up and a high flipper out. That gets all the way down, and that's going to be good enough for an icing with 9:31 to go in this tied game.
Should mention, when we talk about the way the puck has been bouncing, we haven't really seen the Zamboni out all that much either. In between the game that we saw between the Knights and the Storm earlier on today. And of course, you have the first and second period being played with only about a 2-minute intermission to get really reset. So that ice has really taken its lumps, if you will.
Absolutely. The attack, nice play back to the point. Looking to go from that low to high play and generate something through the middle here. Nice seam feed, clean chance, and that's just rifled wide off the stick of Chase Menard, who had a gorgeous look at the net. Didn't miss by much, top cheese, and now the Rangers the other way with a little stuffed chance, and that's knocked away by Noah Connolly.
He was looking 5-hole that whole time.
The attack right back in. Coming out to play it away was Kodaluk, and made a good play on it to get it free and clear. The attack, knock it back in deep. They look to complete the last of a line change. Rangers setting up defensively, good outlet feed, and they're looking to get through neutral, and they will. With speed, charging in there is Gavin O'Connell. Good speed shown so far from number 8 in blue. He and his teammates trying to hold this in on the attack. They will. Knocked in down low. The attack with time. They'll get it out cleanly, and handling it there is Chase Menard, who had that great scoring chance just a couple moments ago. The attack right back in. Trying to cut through the middle, and now it will roll over to this half wall. Attack, hold it in again. Trying to dig it out of his feet is Ethan Schmidt. He gets pinned up by the Rangers defenders, and it's carried off and over the blue line, and the Rangers will head down the ice. Played to the wing, now out of the corner, throwing it toward the front there was Quentin Graham, but nobody home for the Rangers. Now the attack trying to stretch the ice. Turned over though, and right on top of it is Graham, steering it back the other way. Rangers going in hard on the attack. Big collision there. Getting knocked down was Wyatt Clugston. Played into the near corner. Attack defending here. Tied up at 1. They took the 1-0 lead in the first, courtesy of a goal from Russo. Here in the second, Pawchek has the Rangers tied. Knocked down low. Good cycle game from the Rangers here. Midway through this second period with just over 7 minutes left in it. Puck bouncing, Rangers able to settle it. Can they get something toward the net? Seam play back for the defender. Jumping down low into the fray is Ronan Black. Involved on the forecheck. Back up top to the point, Pawchek there covering. Turnover, and the attack trying to get this free, hit a defender's skate. That allows the Rangers to hold it in only momentarily. And now a turnover in the neutral zone, and the attack trying to get this off the wall, unable to do so. Taking a hard hit there for his trouble was Aiden Wismer. Rangers back in, Pawchek into the middle. Chance here, hard shot, they score! Beautiful snipe with 6:29 to go. The Rangers have the lead for the first time this afternoon, and that was a heck of a snapshot from Wyatt Clugston.
And Clugston, this all comes on the tail end of some great pressure by the Rangers. The attack trying to get the puck out, but it's too far away from their own bench, so you have a whole lot of attack players that are on for an extended shift in this sequence. the Rangers just pushing the puck right back into the zone once again, and it ends up burning them as Clugston with a beautiful shot on the counterattack.
Just a few too many unsure clearances, and all of a sudden, the Rangers have their first lead here, up 2-1, courtesy of that Clugston snipe.
That's where that long change comes into play.
Wasn't much Connolly could do with that one. That was just a good, high, hard heater into the top corner. Rangers once again with a good turnover here, holding it into the offensive zone, looking to play that into the middle, and the attacker in a little bit of trouble defensively here. Rangers doing a great job cycling this puck over and over. Attack still unable to clear. Played down below the goal line. Rangers are really keeping this pressure up. And the attacker just looking for some answers, trying to get this out of their zone. Still held in, another turnover, played over, hard shot by Pochek, and finally Connolly will calm things down for an attack team that needs a little bit of a reset here.
They need to start figuring things out here as the Rangers are really developing that momentum and really developing that chemistry amongst everybody that's on the ice. It seems like the coaching staff have really gotten the right group together, and they have been developing some quality grade A scoring chances, but most importantly, it's all about the puck possession. That's been very much key in this second period for them.
Now the attack are going to get it out. Played through the middle, looking to jump on that, bouncing at the Rangers line. They sweep it away instead. The attack squad back on it here, recycling back, and now they're clean into the zone. Menard with a nice little drop feed. Thrown toward the front, looking for the tip of Menard, and instead, Kaudeluk smartly scoops that up.
Yeah, looking for a bit of fight from the attack players in red, just trying to move it down the ice, just trying to set something up, get it on net, get the offensive zone draw, and try to move that puck around the perimeter here in the zone and see if you can put one in.
The attack win the draw. Now they'd like to ramp up the attack as they were hemmed in their own zone for a long while. Unable to hold it in here, though. Puck bouncing around in the neutral zone, and a turnover and an opportunity opening up here for the attack. Good defensive stick, though. Will knock it back. That's a great back check from Joseph Delacroix. Rangers getting set up. Cross ice feed through neutral and find someone breaking in cleanly. Low hard shot. Connolly. Rebound. They score. Connolly made the first stop. Could not make the second on a great transition play. Linking Quilty with a great pass. And the hard finish on the rebound there by Elijah Handrahan. It's 3-1 Rangers.
Southern Tier Admiral getting on the board there is, again, it's just a counterattack. Simple play. They had the numbers. And again, you credit the goaltender Connolly on that save, but it was already down. That puck is loose, and it's that rare rebound. We haven't seen a whole lot of rebounds in this game. One given up there, and sure enough, it's in the back of the net.
And again, you can't fault Connolly there. You're right, Mark. Makes the first save. He's got only one defender back and just couldn't do anything with Handrahan's second opportunity. How about the pass from Quilty?
Oh, beautiful pass by Quilty.
Gorgeous feed side to side. Connolly was there for the first one. And Handrahan bangs home the rebound for a 2-goal lead for the Rangers. With 4 and ticking left here in this second period, the attack have got to get things sorted out in their own zone and try and mount an offensive down the ice at the other end. But for now, the Rangers keeping the pressure on. Back at the point. Looking for a lane. Played through the middle, no shot. Trying to swing that back into the low slot. And the attacker there to cut that off. This will deflect into the Rangers bench and will land out of play with 3:32 left here. Once again, want to thank our friends at Gatorade. Today's action brought to you by Gatorade, the official hydration partner of the U15 Program of Excellence, fueled by Gatorade, powered by Performance. And we need to see a little bit more of a defensive performance here and quicker outs from the attack.
Yeah, you can't get stuck out there for 90-second shifts with the way the Rangers have been playing. You got to get those quick outs, quicker changes, and obviously get that puck down the ice and develop your own scoring chances.
Well, here's a good rush developing with wide open space, a 2-on-1 if they here come the attack, trying to filter that toward the front. A good attempt at a feed from Stefano Chiavetti, just could not get that over to his teammate. That was Jaden Kilpiainen who was waiting for it. Rangers able to clear. They'll jump on this loose puck in the neutral zone. Turned over quickly, though, and the attack have some room down the far wing. Nice chip play into the middle. Good opportunity here. That shot went off the foot. Good block there by Ronan Black, number 3 for the Rangers. That knocked down with a high stick. Possessed briefly by the Rangers, though, so play continues. Hard shot and a snappy glove stop there from Kotalek.
Kotalek has come up big in the second period in particular. You see these rare opportunities for the attack in the second. It's all come off the rush, and it's more important as you're seeing all of these shots coming from the wing. You haven't really seen a lot of shots down the slot, and every single time, though, Kotalek's been able to get the glove on it.
And that was a great save as the Rangers iced the puck. That was a great save on the young man that opened the scoring today in Ethan Russo.
And a whole lot of time has passed since then, and 3 goals since then. Russo scoring 7:01 left in the first period, but this second has been all Rangers.
Pacek, Clugston, Handrahan all scoring in this frame for the squad in blue. As trying to get that out is Pacek. It will get out, and the Rangers heading back in. Knocked away from the puck, though, is Jacob Green, and the attacker back in. Trying to get the offense going, players crisscrossing. Nobody took the puck, though, and the Rangers just sweep that away. At the red line, and the Rangers are able to knock it in deep. Getting back on top of this first is Hudson Sagan. Takes a hit for his trouble, but makes the play. This played back, and the Rangers are going to have to collect and reset from all the way behind their netminder, Kotalek. Played up but not out. Opportunity opening up here for the attack, and that just got whistled wide. Sagan jumped in on the attack and nearly ate into the lead, but it was just wide of the glove side. Rangers are back in the attacking zone. Scrum along that half wall. A bunch of players in there trying to shovel that puck free, and it will get up and out of play with 1:21 left.
You really like to see the fight from the attack in the last couple of minutes. Down 3-1, knowing that they need to get at least one here to try to feel good about themselves going into the third period and, make it a 1-goal hockey game. But you got to start getting into the slot a little bit more. You can take the shots from the sharp angle, but the goaltender's been there every single time. You got to start getting into the house a little bit more on these breaks. And again, get some extended offensive zone time.
Turnover in the neutral zone, and the attack are heading the other way. Trying to get set up, held in at the point. Played across, looking for a shot here. That gets blocked on the way. Getting in the way of that was Delacroix, who's had a good performance defensively here so far. Rolls all the way back into the attack zone. Getting away from 4 checkers, and now a turnover at that half wall. That's been something that's been hampering the attack's ability to go on offense. Just unable to find consistent, clean exit strategies out of their zone. They got it in deep here, but the Rangers are on it. Swung back into neutral ice, and on it here is Caden Petrovsky. Goes D to D. Petrovsky gets a return feed and will carry. Nice feed up the wing. Hard shot, and that's knocked away simply by Kotalek. Attack trying to swing that up the wall. Held in, it's down low. And Delacroix has to make a decision with it. And goes into the near corner, but still held in by the attack. Just a couple seconds left here in the middle frame, and that'll do it. So after 2, a 3-goal unanswered comeback so far from the Rangers as they are up 3-1 on the attack in a heck of a contest here at the OHF U15 Program of Excellence here at the Patrick J. Doherty Arena at Activia Sportsplex. There's your stats after the second period. We'll be back with more after this.
I would say what sets the U15 Program of Excellence apart from just about any other development opportunities out there are going to be the individuals that we have in place.
There's NHL guys here, there's OHL guys here, there's Hockey Canada guys here. You're not going to find a better experience as far as what that next level brings, and everything they're going to see, everything's here.
It's definitely a balancing act in trying to reinforce players to get creative, to work on their skills, and do it with some pace or intensity. We're not focused on succeeding or failing, but we're focused on improving the player and helping him acquire new skills.
Now we're just giving them their extra layers that they can use to help improve their game, not only throughout this weekend, but moving forward into their club teams and as they're preparing for the OHL draft.
No one has fun putting 50% effort into anything, right? Everyone will find their full enjoyment when they give it their all, and that's what we're trying to teach these young athletes here at these younger ages. When we give it 100% effort, that's where the true enjoyment of development and playing this game is going to come from.
We have one common goal, and that's to make players better and help them succeed not only in the game of life, but in the game as well.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
Welcome back to our ongoing special broadcast here of the U15 Program of Excellence, proudly presented by the Ontario Hockey League and Ontario Hockey Federation. After 2 periods of action, the Rangers in blue have a 3-1 lead over the Attack in red, as now taking up the cages for the Attack, Joseph Grixty wearing 30, and for the Rangers, Benjamin Pearson in the cage for this final frame. And the Attack have some work to do, down by 2, trying to climb back into this contest. And good early shift here offensively. The Rangers are going to get it clear here. I'm Ryan Drury alongside Mark Perry. And Mark, it's been a great back and forth contest, but the Rangers really took control in that middle frame.
Yes, they did. Just great sequences, a lot of offensive zone time, and just being able to use the bodies to their advantage and utilizing that long change to their advantage, keeping the puck in the offensive zone and forcing those 90, 100-second shifts of the Attack. But look for the Attack to continue on what they did in the final 90 seconds to 2 minutes of that second period as they started to pile it on again.
Yeah, and they got to find that momentum again as they'll enter the zone here on the Attack. Low, hard shot, and that's knocked away by Pearson from an odd angle. Cleared up the half wall. Rangers can't get this out of the zone just yet. Now they'll get another opportunity, and they'll skate it out of danger. Get it up and deep through the blue line all the way down, and coming out to play it is Grixty. Makes a good play over for Sagan, who gets pressured. Quick play over, and now through the seam to the near wing, and a good exit here for the Attack squad. Jumping in on the Attack's Ethan Schmidt. He gets sent into the boards, but keeps the puck alive down low. Swept around, and the Attack stepping up on a good hit there to keep this alive in the middle, and Rangers able to get some good defensive sticks in there to knock that away from the danger zone. Not a lot of chances in that home plate area. The first had some great scoring chances in there, but the Attack opened the scoring in the first, as this is going to get through everybody for an icing. Russo opening the scoring in the first, and that's where the score stood after the opening frame. And then in the second, 3 unanswered from the Rangers: Pacek, Clugston, and Handrahan. And that's why we've got this 3-1 score line, as the Attack down 2 are going to set up for a defensive zone draw.
And it's been all 5-on-5, just the 1 penalty so far in this game. So, playing at even strength has been a strength here for the Rangers, as, again, great second period, but look for more from the Attack here, who have some speedsters on their roster.
Yeah, not a lot of penalty issues for either side. Pacek served that lone minor, as the Attack had the only opportunity on the man advantage, as they look to skate this away out of their zone, and they will. Quick play up, and they'll get in on the offensive here. Shown to the wall was Aiden Wismer. Thrown right to the front, and that just jumped a stick. Good play into the middle. And are we going to get a call here? Yes, we are. It's going to be a slash. So someone's going shorthanded here.
Looks like it's going to be the Rangers taking the penalty here.
And is that Pacek again? Yes, it is. So Pacek has a goal here. As a matter of fact, it was the tying goal at the time for the Rangers. He's going to take his second minor penalty of this contest with just over 12 minutes left. This is a great opportunity for the Attack to eat into this lead, trying to shovel that toward the front, and that's batted away by the Rangers defenders. Hard off the glass, and that will get all the way down.
Time to get a crowd in front of the net, get that puck into the goal mouth, and try to develop those second or third chance opportunities.
That's what you're going to have to try for here, as the Attack look to get their way through neutral. Aggressive penalty killing setup, a 1-1-2 being played by the Rangers here. That stick coming free of the Rangers player, and just a good battle holding it down low. Tying up his man, that was Patrick Spears doing a great job to keep that puck low.
Even without the stick too, Spears, excellent job.
Hard shot in, and that's blockered away nicely by Benjamin Pearson. The Attack trying to get themselves set up here and look for some clean chances. Coming off the half wall. Doesn't like the look. That was Jackson Gillies. Played back at the line, held in nicely there by Caden Petrovsky, who rifles this. But Pearson, with no one in front of him, is able to rip that out of the air and settle things.
Well, and that puck's going wide anyway, but knowing these lively boards, you don't want that puck going wide, hitting the end wall and just bouncing right in front of the net and having somebody cruise through the slot to try to get that second chance. Just a good job by the goaltender there. Sees the puck, close the glove on it, force the face-off.
Shot right away here, and Pearson right there with the glove once again. One more time, I want to thank Hockey Canada for their ongoing support of youth development through programs like this one. Hockey Canada, a key contributor to events like this one here, the U15 Program of Excellence. The attack on a one-timer there, and that went off a defender's foot. They're getting their chances. They're just unable to beat Pearson right now in that blue crease.
Wide, aggressive penalty kill setup by the Rangers here.
That hard shot takes a deflection off a defender's stick and will jump up out of play. 23 seconds left on this attack power play. And like we just said, they're generating chances. They just can't find that finishing touch.
Yeah, and you got to try to get that puck down low a little bit more. Again, that's where you're going to start finding a little bit of room to put it into the slot, try to get it into the house and get some bodies in there.
Ripped around and held in by Montgomery. Tries to play it into the slot and instead lands on a Ranger stick and they rip it out. Under 10 seconds left on this power play. The attack will get back over the line, looking for a late opening here on this man advantage that expires. Rifled in there, and that's deflected wide. We're back to 5-on-5. Montgomery jumping down, activating from the point, trying to hold this in down low. Poking away at the side of the net. Pearson in there trying to find it. Still loose. Comes back to the point. Fired quickly, and that's wide. The attack keeping up the pressure and now screaming down the ice. Here come the Rangers looking to add to the lead. Rebound sitting there as Grixty made the initial stop, and then the puck was bouncing wildly in the slot. Luckily for him, the attack defenders were there to get it away. And they're in with a high shot here coming off the stick of Russo, their lone goal scorer, and that deflects up and out of play.
Just back on that 2-on-1 rush for the Rangers there. That all starts from Anthony Asaf, who's just able to poke the puck over the blue line, and it turns into a 2-on-1 situation. Asaf, soon as that puck is off of his blade and to his teammate, he goes straight toward the net, but just unable to finish off the play.
Low shot, that's wide, still alive in the corner here for the attack. That will escape the defender's stick at the blue line and come all the way back. On it first here is Luke McMillan. He's pressured nicely. Rangers trying to add to this 3-1 lead. The attack have something to say about that. Good play up, 2-on-1 developing here for the attack. Charging right in, trying to stuff it home and unable to do so on that power cut move, Ethan Schmidt. That was close. This will get sent all the way down the ice. It's got enough for icing. Yes, it does. And one more time, want to thank the Ontario Hockey Federation, who are proud to partner with the OHL in developing the stars of tomorrow, starting right here with the U15 Program of Excellence. And thanks again to them for inviting us out to take in the action here today at the Activia Sportsplex.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, where else would you rather be?
Where else would you rather be?
Turnover in the neutral zone here, and the attack right back in, trying to eat into this Rangers lead. Good hold on the wall, played across the line. Low hard shot, looking for some traffic in front. Pearson will glove that down.
And this is exactly what the doctor ordered if you are the attack. Just, again, getting some shots toward the goal. They have really controlled the zone time here in this third period to try to climb back into this game.
Yeah, they're doing what they need to. They're generating chances. Pearson has been there to answer them. That gets knocked away by a good defensive stick from the Rangers. Attack resetting things as they'll knock it in deep. Try and get the forecheck going. Swept in behind the net of Pearson. Rangers using the glass, high jumper, and that will get out of the zone. And here come the Rangers down the ice. It's Pawcheck. Pawcheck moving in and rifling that just wide, looking for his potential second of the afternoon. Pawcheck back on it. Swept back up toward the point. It gets through everybody, though, and that will allow the attack to get some fresh players on as the Rangers have to start all over again in their own zone. Moving through the neutral zone, quick turnover, and the attacker on it. Trying to get into the attacking zone. High bouncing puck. Rangers are able to knife it out, and they'll come right back in on the attack. Trying to get involved there is Jacob Green, who's been very active on the forecheck this afternoon, 14 in blue. Four-man scrum dug free by Montgomery, but he's pressured right away, and the attack will just rip it all the way around the wall. Paw check there to hold serve at the point. High shot, looking for a tip maybe, and that'll be gloved down out of danger by Joseph Grixty.
Almost a Dalton Varsho-esque, just fly ball center field, just trying to grab that. Didn't lose his balance, though.
He didn't stumble, though.
No, he did not.
No stumble from either netminder so far in this third period. No goals to speak of in this final frame so far, but the Rangers, off the strength of that 3-goal second period, still holding on to this 3-1 lead. Knocked in, but quickly sent up ice by Montgomery. A little too hard for a teammate. And they'll try again here. Turned over at the red line, which has been happening a lot for both sides in this contest. Rangers with control of it here. Hard shot right into the crest. Grixty stops that. Montgomery turnover, and the Rangers looking to add to the lead. Sent in deep. Montgomery back on it. Big number 6 in red has been a defensive force out there so far. Rangers have to touch up. This will give the attack some time to consider what they want to do with it here. Big poke check to keep that alive. Good stick by Patrick Spears. Keeping the attack hemmed into the zone. Turned over at the top of the slot, looking for a shot here, and that's just whistled high and wide, not far from the bar. The attack running out of time here, under 7 to go, and they're down 2. They've got to try and flood the offensive zone with some pressure here. Montgomery resetting things. Cross ice feed lands for Wismer. He's able to rifle it in deep. Pearson there to make a play on it from his cage. Rangers looking to bounce this out. They get it as far as the neutral zone. The attack knock it back in. Trying to reset things is Hudson Clayton. Gets some help from his defender. Gets a return feed from around behind the net. Rangers able to clear. They'll poke it in deep. On it first is Hudson Sagan. He gets pressured right away, though, trying to throw that to the front. That was cut off by Grixty. Trying for a one-timer opportunity right on the doorstep, and the Rangers couldn't connect. The attack looking for room here. Good escape, good shot, better save. Pearson snatches that off. A good shot from Otterino.
Yeah, Otterino just in traffic, just trying to settle that puck down. Still a whole lot of wood in that slot, just trying to get it into a clear shooting lane. Didn't take much once he got into that lane to take the shot, but a better save made by the goaltender.
5:20 remaining here in regulation as the attack are going to switch up their attacking line here. In need of 2 to tie it. Winning the draw, but it will land for a defensive player. Quick turnover, though, and the attacker able to bump it back down low. Got to try and get on top of this puck and maybe get some traffic in front. Played up top, and that was knocked away from the stick of Chase Menard. And it will chase his teammates back into their own zone. Rangers pressuring here. Jumping on top of this is Anthony Asaf. Played back to the line, tipped in front there, and Grixty had to be careful with that one. Good stick save. Attack, sweeping it out. Menard is going to give chase on this, but going to get there first. Ryder Merritt defensively for the Rangers. Under 5 to go. Turnover opportunity here caused by Menard. Turning and firing, unable to get that to the front of the net. Rangers can't clear just yet. Now they will. This will not go for icing. Grixty realizing that, so he comes out to make a play on it. Menard back here defensively on it. Swung around to the far side. Nearly turned over. Getting a return feed here is Caden Petrovsky. Sent up the ice, but cut off by the Rangers. They're content with a 2-goal lead just to knock it back in deep. Petrovsky with another opportunity. Cleanly finds Lucas Godin, who gets knocked down here. Petrovsky back there to help him out. Godin on the return feed. Finds a man nicely. It's Menard streaking down the wing. Menard, hard shot. That goes well wide. Can the attack hold it in? No, they cannot. Under 4 to go. Rangers come charging right back in, looking to add to their lead. Stop and start play there by Wyatt Clugston, who as of right now would have the game-winning goal, number 9 in blue. The Attack are able to clear, and the Rangers will just play some pitch and catch here and poke it right back in deep. That's Clugston on it. Swept up top. Held in, shot. Looking for the tip, and it'll get knocked wide, but right back on it in pursuit is Grady Soroki. Comes to the near side in the Attack zone. They have got to get down the ice and try and get after Pearson in the Rangers' net. They need 2 to tie this. 3 minutes and ticking left here in regulation. Can the Rangers hold on to this tenuous 2-goal lead? Spinning away from pressure, but getting pinned up against the wall is Petrovsky as he's battling furiously defensively. Shot in, but that's blocked. Jumping in and activating from the point is Quentin Graham, who's got it here. Played back to the point. Hard shot. That doesn't reach the net. Rebound sitting there, and that's rifled wide. Another rebound chance, and that got the mask. And that's rifled high and wide, too, as Graham got involved. Grixty will finally cover it, and Graham had a couple good looks there.
Yeah, and one of those there, it's all about just trying to play simple hockey, but you can see the aggression from the Rangers here as this third period has gone along. At one point, they were sending 3 guys in on the forecheck and had 2 guys on the blue line just trying to, try to hold serve, if you will. So a great defensive stance by the Rangers, but, for that good defense and that good forecheck, it's turned into a whole lot of offense and a whole lot of zone time and has really put a little bit more pressure on the Attack, who are still down by 2.
Grixty made a good save off that last face-off attempt. Now his team wins the draw, and they're going to try and get in offensively. Losing footing there, trying to cut in, was Kilpiainen. Rangers come back over the line. Shot there, that's deflected off a defensive stick, up and out of play off the stick of Hudson Clayton, trying to get a shot in there. 2:02 remaining. Defensive zone draw coming up here for the Attack. They got to win this draw, get down the ice, and get the goalie pulled, Mark.
Yeah, get that up in the air, get a speedster into the neutral zone, and see what you can do in the offensive zone.
Quick chance by Pawcheck off that draw. He just bulldozed his way from the face-off dot right to the front, and Grixty was there to make the stop, and that deflects up and out. We'll do the dance all over again.
Yeah, Pawcheck's, again, just been very impressive in this game.
He's really made a mark. A couple minor penalties, been all over the score sheet. And a big goal as well to get things tied at the time. The Attack did open this game scoring-wise, courtesy of Russo, but it's been all Rangers since. They're trying to get the goalie pulled. Grixty has to come back, and that shot was wide. Grixty was on his way to the bench and realized, I got to come back. Another chance here for the Rangers. Good glove stop there from Grixty. Rebound, they score. 4-1 now, the Rangers lead as Jacob Green, who's been all over the place offensively in this game, will bang one home. 4-1 Rangers.
The Niagara North Star on the doorstep. Just a bouncing puck goes right onto his stick. Untouched, uncovered, as the Attack is just trying to clear it out of the house. But right on the far side, Green is able to deposit the biscuit with 1:26 remaining.
So that's probably going to be enough for the Rangers, who again fell behind first, and then 4 now unanswered goals. 3 in the second, 1 in this period as Pearson called into action with a good stop there. And they look like they're going to skate away with a victory here this afternoon at the U15 Program of Excellence.
Yeah, good statement by this Rangers team is, they've really come together quickly. It took them a little bit to develop that chemistry, that momentum, trying to figure out where the pieces fit. As soon as they figured out where those puzzle pieces fit, that 3D puzzle really came together quickly.
Yeah, this team has played really well together, and some good defensive efforts on both sides of the ice. Great goaltending as well from all 3 netminders on either side. Stretch feet here, just a stride offside there. Ben Slade was looking to walk in for a late opportunity.
Look for those Hail Mary passes to come more and more here in the final 50 seconds. It might be 4-1. It looks like it's all she wrote, but you know that the Attack want to try to get one late here, and try to feel good about themselves going into the locker room to finish this one off.
Well, we've seen crazy comebacks before in sports, Mark, and you know what the Beebs always says. What is it?
Never say never.
That's right, sir. So the attack looking to maybe tack one on late here, but the Rangers with a quick intercept charging right back in. Good stick there from Lincoln Quilty, who made a brilliant pass in this game for an assist on the Clugston goal, which looks like it's going to stand up as the game winner. 4-1 Rangers over the attack. We're into the final 15 seconds, and the Rangers are just going to knock that down into the zone. I want to thank our friends again from the OHF for having us out today. Our friends Will Metzke and Zach DeForest for inviting us out to call the action here. And it's been two great contests here at the Patrick J. Doherty Arena. And in this one, the Rangers are going to hold on for a 4-1 victory. Again, the goal scorers, Russo opening it in the first for the attack. But then in the second, Pacek, Clugston, Handrahan for a commanding 3-1 lead. Green knocking in the late one for the 4-1 victory here for the Rangers. Well, it's been a lot of fun here. I want to thank our friends again at the OHF, Gatorade, and Hockey Canada for having us out here at the U15 Program of Excellence. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. For Mark Perry, I'm Ryan Drury. We'll see you next time.
I would say what sets the Under 15 Program of Excellence apart from just about any other development opportunities out there are going to be the individuals that we have in place.
There's NHL guys here, there's OHL guys here, there's Hockey Canada guys here. You're not going to find a better experience as far as what that next level brings, and everything they're going to see, everything's here.
It's definitely a balancing act in trying to reinforce players to get creative, to work on their skills, and do it with some pace or intensity. We're not focused on succeeding or failing, but we're focused on improving the player and helping him acquire new skills.
Now we're just giving them their extra layers that they can use to help improve their game, not only throughout this weekend, but moving forward into their club teams and as they're preparing for the OHL draft.
No one has fun putting 50% effort into anything, right? Everyone will find their full enjoyment when they give it their all, and that's what we're trying to teach these young athletes here at these younger ages. When we give it 100% effort, that's where the true enjoyment of development and playing this game is going to come from.
We have one common goal, and that's to make players better and help them succeed not only in the game of life, but in the game as well.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.